I am simply obsessed with patterns. And if you want to sell on Spoonflower or you're already selling on Spoonflower, I'm guessing you're obsessed with patterns as well. Up until 3 years ago, I was making most of my patterns, my seamless patterns, with Canva. And then I started creating them with Procreate, and then came into my life an app called REPPER, a web app so you use it on your computer. It's an app that uses a source image and math to create really unique patterns in a way that I've never seen before. It's really mind-blowing, the math that goes behind it. It's not an AI tool, it's a mathematical tool, and it's one of my favorite things to use to create seamless patterns. And in this video, as a part of the Spoonflower series, I'm going to show you how to use the REPPER app to create designs for Spoonflower. But before we get started, I need to get one thing out of the way first, and that is, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mero and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today we are at Spoonflower Part 4, how to design patterns for Spoonflower using REPPER. I'm not going to talk much more. I'm going to send you to my screen and show you exactly what is the REPPER app, what you can do with it. And I'm warning you, if you've never used the REPPER app before or have never seen it, it's going to be kind of a mind buster. So how do I get to my screen? Wait, I have a magic trick that I do that takes people to my screen. Wait. Welcome to the REPPER app, and I feel like the video coming up on the screen right now is really demonstrating the abilities of this app, but we're going to play around with it a little bit more and create some very simple designs for Spoonflower and very complicated ones. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Canva and I'm going to create an image source. As I mentioned, this is not an AI tool, this is a mathematical tool that uses a source image and breaks it or multiplies it in multiple directions. And I'm just going to play around with doing something that doesn't look like much. I'm going to take a shape and I'm going to put it here. And then let's do curve line, like a curvy line of some sort. We have this one. I'm just making a complete mess that makes no sense and that looks like, well, not much like anything. Let's try an eye. That will be interesting. Well, not this one, because this one is moving. But let's put an eye in here. And I'm thinking about maybe giving this a slightly different background. Let's put this on top. You know what? I think I'm going to keep this one like this. No? Background. Let's give it this background. And I'm going to take another page from Canva and I'm just going to make it gradient. Like the background is just going to be gradient. For those of you who don't know how to do that, you just click here on the color option, scroll down to the gradients, and here you can, once you get out of the colors and go back in, the gradient will appear here and you can edit the gradient. So I kind of want light blue versus strong blue, and maybe I'm going to drop off a spider web and I'm going to make it in white. Okay, I'm gonna put it in one edge. I still want to keep like one of the edges free. And actually I want to triple the gradient. For those of you who didn't know that's an option, just click on plus and I'm gonna try and find like a color in the middle and then you can like grab the colors one after the other. Maybe let's make this one a bit different. Green. Let's do blue, like we have blue, we have green, and let's do some kind of pale red. Okay. These are the two source images from which I will be making patterns. I'm downloading them in JPEG. No need for checking up the quality at this point because REPPER actually has an internal DPI calculator, so we're going to be using that. These are the two designs that I made, and I'm actually going to drop them off inside the free REPPER pack because I have on MeTribe a free REPPER pack that you can download to experiment with. So we're going to experiment with all of these. The way to start is by starting the app. I think that was very simple, right? And I'm going to click on new collection and I'm going to call it test for Spoonflower. And I'm really bad at naming my collections. So yeah, should really get better at this. Upload image, free REPPER pack. Let's upload this image first. And I'm currently just dumping a bunch of images here because I want to show you different things that the system can do once you have a different source image with the same tiling effect. These ones I made actually with Procreate. I kind of like those. Okay, let's start with the very first one, the one with the eye. So if you've never seen REPPER before, then you should know that you see this area here, the one that I can stretch up and down. This is a selected part of the image, and this is how I want it to be tiled. Oh wow, this is pretty. Now, if at any point you go like, oh wow, this is pretty, and you kind of want to save it for later, you just click on plus, and it's being saved right here. Let's have a look. We have the Persian star, and once we've selected a tiling option, we can open this and move it around as much as we want, and it is a mathematical tool that creates a pattern from that. This is pretty. Well, pretty for me. I wish I could have one of you guys here going like, oh, it is pretty or it's not, just so I'll know for sure. This is kind of pretty. It's kind of like flowers. And we also have the bloom, the echo honeycomb, which is also kind of cute. I think this was pretty. And let's change image. Now, this image, I want to show you something really cool because there's pretty much nothing going on here, especially with the honeycomb. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, we have seamed rectangular grid. Makes no sense, does nothing. However, we have some effects and they do stuff. For example, creating a tile border, which is something like this, which you can control the width of, how round it is, and the color of the border. And now we're going to go back to pattern and let's go with octagon, honeycomb, pyramid, cross brick, echo tile, echo tartan, diamond penrose. Ooh, this kind of looks like neurographics. It's actually very trippy. And if I'm going to make it a tiny bit bigger, it will include more of the red colors. And I think I actually like this one. Or I can also include parts of this. It kind of looks like fragmented diamonds a little bit, or something like this, which is also pretty cool. We have the Persian star, bloom, echo honeycomb, high five. Ooh, this feels like there's like micro dots inside. I don't know if you can see it, if it's visible enough. Perhaps I should switch an image to something with a bit more defined colors. And I can do something like this. Obviously, this is one color. And now this, I don't really like it, but I can get out of the fixed aspect ratio and just go to something like this. This is actually kind of pretty. You can also do something like this, and then I'm going to head back on over to effects, go to color, and custom pick this one that looks a little bit smaller in there. And this would be a nice pattern actually. I kind of like this one. Okay, let's play along with this a bit more. There is something that I really like, the honeycomb. I really like it. And if you notice, if I just choose one of these, it just creates like a beehive pattern. And let's say I saved this beehive pattern. I can just go to this square and save this beehive pattern and this one. And here you basically have three different colors if you're looking at the colorway option or the color gradient for beehives. And of course, if you don't want to use this one, we can use just a white color or a black color or any color that will match the design, like a little bit darker than that, and save that. And of course, make this wider or make this more round. And I feel like the round one, it almost creates like perfect dots. Not quite, but almost. I kind of like the round one a little bit more. And we can move the marker over here or split it in the middle, basically creating honeycomb inside of a honeycomb. Let's work on the roundness a little bit less because we have like strong lines here. And let's change this color to white and go back to our pattern and move this one here. This is an interesting honeycomb pattern. I really like it. If you're doing anything with honeycomb, this is like the easiest way to get like multiple honeycomb patterns and colors. I feel like it's touching a bit on that. It was a bit weird. And of course, we can also like cross them between several ones. Oh, this one's pretty. Is that the same? No. And this was basically an image made from like random colors. Let's hop on over to here. Yeah, we have a much more interesting view here. I actually like this one. I'm going to keep it. I think it looks much better without the tiling border. So I'm going to delete the tiling border, save this one, and then delete this one. Because if I just delete, it's going to remove all the settings. And let's go to something different like cross facade, cross brick, echo tile, echo tartan. This system is incredibly unique. I can play with REPPER for hours. I feel like that's my problem with REPPER videos being so long. And there are a lot more REPPER videos on the channel, but Just look at how like unique the flowers come out when you're doing it something like this. Now I do want to try another image and create a different source file because I do want to play around on the Spoonflower app and show you how to do a bunch of cool stuff. But let's find an interesting. I often like the diamond penrose a lot. I feel like it creates this kind of like path where you're trying to track where it's going. And one thing that I like in particular is the metamorphosis effect, which breaks the pattern from right to left. And in this case, this is not a seamless pattern. If you've been uploading to Spoonflower, you know you need seamless patterns, but there is a way that we might be able to use one of these. And we're going to use it with the half brick effect on Spoonflower. It's just that the download feature is going to be different. Now let's talk about the downloading feature, or in this case, it's called exporting feature. I'm going to head on over to export, and I can export whatever is on my screen right now, or a custom size. So for example, let's say I want 5,000 by 5,000 pixels, and it's repeating 4 times the pattern that was created. Now in this specific case, this is a seamless pattern. If you look at the edges of it, it is a seamless pattern. However, in some of the cases, it's not, because it was a seamless pattern when we created it, but maybe not when we exported it. However, we can export things as a tile. And this is going to say this is a non-periodic pattern and can only be exported as a surface. Okay, so this one I cannot. But the pixel tile size is 261 by 261. I'm going to try and recreate that with the surface, which means 261 is 4122 on 4122. Let me just double check. 261 times 2. Yeah, 4122. My math works at 7 a.m. And this would be a seamless pattern, and we can export this one with PNG, or we can, maybe I think we can select 2. This one can be exported, and this should be a seamless pattern. We can also export this in JPEG, and let's start by exporting this one. I'm going to call it Spoonflower 1. Now I'm going to click on something else, and as you can see here, this will not be a seamless pattern because of these dimensions. I'm going to fit this to area and go to tile, and this is something that I can export now. The pixel size of this is 5,350 by 3,089, and if you've watched my Spoonflower upload videos, you know that a seamless pattern doesn't necessarily mean 1:1 ratio, which means I can export it. I'm going to call it SF pink and black, and I feel like I want to go to this one. This is an interesting tile. I really like this style. And again, if I want to change this a little bit, all I have to do is move it around here or here. But I kind of like the way it was. It's nice that it's saved here. And I'm going to export this. The pixel size is going to be 1800 by 1898 by 1898, which is enough. I'm going to call it mustard. Let's move on to some of the other ones. We have like honeycomb, multiple honeycombs, and we're going to export them as honeycomb. Let's click on this one, export honeycomb 2. Now, if you're wondering, will this pattern look good on Spoonflower, on fabrics, on home goods? You can always click on the 3D view and basically witness how this pattern, whether it's very condensed or it's more open, how it actually looks on items like cushions. We have a notebook cover. This app is used widely by print-on-demand sellers, not just on Spoonflower, but also on Redbubble, on Society6, with their own stores. We have how it's going to look on leggings. And this is really good if you're trying to like talk about how it looks like as fabric, how it looks on a mug, how it looks on sports socks. We also have how it looks on t-shirts for men and women. And I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually export this, because I'm on the export now and I can actually export either the fit area or custom. So for example, the size is 1,500. Let's make this one 1,500 as well. And it's going to export this one. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be, wait, shirt test. Let's have a look at what we exported in our download section. This is going to be transparent background, and I feel like this might be a good thing if you already uploaded this pattern to Spoonflower and you want to show how people can like use this fabric to create t-shirts. That is also a really good example. And of course, we also have a women's t-shirt here, and we have a blanket, which I feel like is going to crop the area. Yeah, we need to give it a bit more leeway. 1, 2. Yes. And you can move this around if you want to give it a different look before you're downloading it. But I feel like this is definitely one benefit of REPPER, because it's both like a design tool and both a tool that you can use later on for your marketing efforts. Let's go back to some of these ones because I really like those. We can export this one as a tile. I'm going to call it white, black, blue flowers. And now I want to save something with a metamorphosis. I'm going to head back on over to the images. Let's find something a bit different. Oh wow, this is nuts. I don't know if it's going to print well, right? We're always thinking like, is this going to capture like all the vivid colors and everything? Let's have a look. Let's maybe upload another one of the source images that I had. I had the tie-dye source image, or also this one was nice. A bit of a mess with diamond penrose. Let's go with seamed. And here we can also do something like the fence. And then with the effects again, you're going with a tile border and you're creating kind of like these like diamond view or however you want to call it. Ladder, arabesque, octagon, Cairo, high five, honeycomb again with our honeycomb pattern, Persian star, diamond penrose, echo tartan. I think we have something that is kind of like sort of like crossing on the side. The cross weave looked insane. This actually kind of looks a little bit like patchwork, right? You know what? Let's go with that. But make this seems like a lot less. This kind of reminds me of patchwork, but I think maybe a different image would be better. This really looks like patchwork or like crazy plaid, you know? Let's think about other ones here. Rectangular. Oh, this one was the one I was looking for before, actually. I'm going to choose a different thing here and move this up and surface this behind. This is an interesting pattern to have. I think it will be more interesting if it's on a solid color. So I'm going to choose this. So for example, you can just do something like that and just export something like this. It's so pretty. Let's go. We have the hexagon that we've done, the fence, which is again creating these like diamond shapes. And of course, you can control the color here. But in this case, if we drop it down here, this could be a very interesting pattern. Also, these, it's like just a world of like endless different patterns. I'm trying to like hit the mark. Oh, wow. This is like a little bit of like an asymmetrical like checkers pattern. Let me make this a bit more symmetrical, I guess. This would be cute. I like this. Let's download this. Tile. Hello. Download. Export. Let's export this in the largest size. This is again 1653 by 1500, so it's not that big. Pink, black, crossing white. I'm bad at coming up with the names for this. And last but not least, I want to play with the Metamorphosis effect to show you how you can use that. So let's go into effects. I'm going to eliminate the border and click on Metamorphosis and basically break this. Ta-da! Completely broken. Now let's see what we're going to do with it or where it's going to be. I'm probably not going to use the fence for this one. Probably going to go to the seamed. Probably going to go to the seamless, to someone else from the seamless. How is diamond penrose, Persian? The Persian always looks good in these things. Bloom, Echo Tartan, Echo Brick. Okay. I think that this is kind of cute, right? This area could be really cute. I'm trying to look like at the bigger picture, you know? Let's only focus on the eye. Now it's gonna look pixelated because the area is too small. Let's change an image. I really like this image. I think like you can make so many things from that one. And I feel like it's making like a cross that evolves on its own or something like that. Let's try honeycomb, high five, Cairo. Ooh, Cairo is interesting. Cairo is always interesting. I feel like I just want to take one of these and let's go back to effects. Now, if I scroll all the way back, it just expands itself, but I can like mirror this on both sides. So like this will be identical and try and play around with this whole thing manually if I want to, but I don't want to. I'm going to break it from both ends and then I'm going to go to export, custom size. I'm going to choose 5000 by 5000 pixels and then I'm going to try to find a space in here. Let's repeat this 6 times. I think that I wanted something like this, or let's repeat this 5 times, or 4, and I can move this around manually, and I think that this is what I want to export and put on Spoonflower. Now, this is not seamless, but we can mirror on Spoonflower. So let's call it Spoonflower for mirroring. Again, this is just for the test. Obviously, when you guys work, I really recommend working with collections and exporting things differently. I just want to show you one last trick before we go to Spoonflowers. You can go to Effects and control the colors. Make them a tiny bit brighter. In this case, we went to black and white. Work on the contrast and the saturation, and even create 2 other colors that are basically the color scheme here. So I can literally create this, download this and export this, and then create this, download and export, this, download and export, this, download and export, and then I have basically a series. Now, obviously this might not look so good on this one, but if we're looking at the honeycomb, instead of maybe just having like the source image have all the files, what you can do is just literally go to duotone and make this one white, and now this one is black, or some kind of purple, or green, or blue, or pink, or red, and then export these individually, and of course with the color of a seam, for example, that is white or that is black, and then you have basically this colorway thing. And if you don't know how to do the colorway, I recommend watching Spoonflower Part 3. But with that, let's head on over to Spoonflower. By the way, if you like this video so far or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below because every time you do that, believe it or not, it really does help my channel, and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And we're going to click on Upload a Design and massively choose all the files that we downloaded because we can choose multiple files together up till 10. I really recommend doing this in a smarter way, I guess. And when I say smarter, I mean I want to show you multiple things right now. However, if I was doing this for myself, and for example, I like this one, I would download the red one, and then the green one, and then a yellow one, and then a blue one, and then a purple one, and then a pink one, and probably a black and white one. And I would upload all of them to Spoonflower at the same time with the same settings. But I just want to show you what do these things do and how do they look like. So let's edit them in the design libraries. I'm going to open each one individually. Maybe not each one, but just to show you the little bit of things that you can do around it and like, wrap this tutorial up with actually a conclusion. I'm going to start with this one, and obviously you need to change the name from honeycomb. And when you go into the fabric, as you can see, this is a seamless pattern, even though, again, it wasn't 1:1 ratio. I feel like a lot of people feel like 1:1 ratio means seamless, but if you've been designing surfaces and patterns, you know it's not. One thing that I did mention in the tips video, the third part that I know a lot of people don't know and I do want to mention here, is that you can preview the cut size to see how it's going to look if someone's going to want to order a swatch. So I do recommend for a lot of things to have like 3 sizes. One size is going to be something like this, so people can order it in a swatch. The other size is going to be something that is visible like nice on a fat quarter, and the other one is going to be on a yard. And the reason for that is because people want different sizes of patterns for different projects. Let's save this one just to look on how it's going to look on other products. And to be honest, this looks kind of good. This looks really, really good. Obviously, title, search engine, description, tags. If you want to enter it into a design challenge, go ahead and manually edit the wallpaper if you want to. Don't forget to proof it, and then you can put it up for sale. Just want to show you a few more and how they look like. I really like that mustard thing. I have to look at how it looks on products, even when it's stretched all the way through, and I feel like it looks amazing. This is really like my color palette. I don't know how to explain this. Let's have a look at this one. And I do want to show you how these ones can be played out as well. Okay, this actually looks kind of good. I would make it smaller though. I would definitely make it smaller, even for the large size. I feel like these patterns are like super, super unique. And now we're coming to the problematic product. If you look at this, it's kind of like it cuts it off. You can definitely see here that it is not a seamless pattern. But we can either leave it at that, some people might like this, or we can mirror this here. And now it is a seamless pattern. Let's save this up. It's thinking. Keep your eye on the ball, on the prize. Keep your eyes on the duvet. Okay? I feel like it's thinking too much. Opa! And now it's seamless on everything, chaotic, weird. I feel like we have a good thing here and we also have a bad thing in a way, because what we have here is something that it's going to be very hard to find keywords for that. I do recommend in general to market your Spoonflower store rather than just to rely on the platform. But if you're a surface and pattern designer and you get people to come into this, these kind of patterns that are extremely unique and no one can find them anywhere. If someone likes this kind of pattern, they won't be able to find it anywhere, which would explain or make them forgive the price of ordering from Spoonflower. I did have one more thing here open. I love this one. I love this one. Let's go back to REPPER for this one. Where were you? Did I not save it? No way. Ah, I did. I thought I didn't save it. I was like, what? Okay, we can change the color to actually white and then work on the duotone. And here you can create, like, again, multiple options for this product, for this pattern, and basically export the same thing with pink, with blue, with whatever, and even create like some kind of a cheater quilt. I do also want to show you something a bit, I guess, cool if we're talking about the holiday season. So I actually have another freebie in my shop. Let's go into some more of the freebies. And that was like 56 Christmas digital papers. And this could be really cool with REPPER. So I'm gonna go back to my library because I already uploaded some of them. Go to this one. Definitely cancel this if I want Christmas colors, and I can also cancel the tile border and of course choose a different tiling like this one. Oh wow, these are really nice, especially for Christmas colors, you know? Let's go back to the export and reduce this to fit the area so we can play around with it. Maybe change the image to a different one from this bundle, like this one. And here you can like play around with like this watercolor image that is in Christmas colors and basically use it with REPPER to create endless files from the same source image. This looks insane. I would call this the golden collection. Now, again, this is not a full REPPER tutorial. I will probably leave a link down in the description to every REPPER video. And this is also not a full Spoonflower tutorial. I'm not going to finish uploading these products. I have my own collections and my own rhythm that I'm working with. I'm currently trying to get my shop to 400 designs by the end of the year, which I think I started with much little, and I think I'm kind of back on that. But yeah, that's what I'm currently trying to do. And of course, I'm working with different collections, and I'm trying to work with different sizes as well. So like everything that I upload will be in like multiple different sizes. So as you can see here, like this is a large black and white. I'm just gonna open this because this is me following up on the tips that I basically gave people, so I'm giving them to myself. So this is how this is going to look on a yard, and it has all the other colors using the colorway option. And then we have this one, which is going to look like this on a yard, which is, as you can see, a tiny bit smaller. And we have the last one, which is going to look like this on a yard, because this one was made for people who want to get swatches. I feel like I haven't been using REPPER that much because I want to do more of those honeycombs. I want to do like a full honeycomb inside of honeycomb series. I've mostly been doing some stuff that I've done from Procreate, but I definitely want to start uploading the things from REPPER. Now, this is actually something from REPPER, believe it or not. Basically, what I did here is that I created the clip art within an image and then did the honeycomb. So I'm going to quickly show how to do something like that. We're on 5000 by 5000 pixels. I'm going to click on add image, go to my uploads, and pick something that I have here. I have loads of things here. Loads of unrelated things. I'm just going to pick one of the clip arts that I have. I think these ones are also for sale on Maytribe. I'm not even sure if I finished uploading. Yeah, 37 cute animals. So let me pick just one of these. Let's pick this one. Maybe something different. No, I'm going to pick this one and I'm going to give it a green color, or maybe some kind of this background. Let's remove the pink, like a greenish background, and I'm going to make the panda a tiny bit smaller, and I'm going to center it. And let's just download this panda. I can do that in JPEG. It really doesn't matter because the pattern on its own is going to be very, very big. And then I'm going to head back to REPPER. Dun, 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 change image, upload this one. And I already have some of these at my settings. This is the Echo Honeycomb. Let's change the image, stretch this one. I don't need an Echo Honeycomb. I actually need a seamed Cloverfield windmill. No. Hexagon grid. Great. Move this one. Fixed aspect ratio. Let's open it as much as I can. Move this one up. Perhaps like that. Go back to effects. Change the color to white, for example. Let's add it as a snapshot. And this can be my pattern with an image in the middle, which is again how I created this design, by taking the clip art of the bees on a different background and putting it through the honeycomb. So I have been using a little bit of REPPER within my designs. I'm looking forward to doing it a little bit more than usual, mostly by uploading random collections, but this is where my shop is right now. I'm definitely looking forward to starting working on one of my projects that is supposed to be the biggest marketer for that. But I think that this is the end of this tutorial. Again, it wasn't a full REPPER tutorial. It wasn't a full Spoonflower tutorial. There will be more tutorials down below. But I do think that REPPER is an incredibly cool app that you can do so many things with. And I think that it's worth at least exploring, whether you're using it with very, very simple source images that you just made with Canva and that are not maybe that special, but my God, this is adorable. Or if you're using it from more complex images that you made from Canva, or things you created with AI or with Procreate, and just to fit the holiday season. I'm gonna head back on over to me, summarize this video, and then I'm gonna go and upload a buttload of Christmas items and Christmas patterns. Mostly I think I'm gonna use REPPER for this one. But yeah, let's get back to me and finalize this video. And we're back to me, and to be honest, I love REPPER so much. And every time I just use it for a tutorial or make a video about it, I just feel like I love it even more because it really is that simple to create even the most intricate and complicated patterns using REPPER. And I just love seeing it at work. It has been awesome, especially the Metamorphosis double thing that you can do with Spoonflower. That was a really nice trick. So I'm absolutely loving this. Now, REPPER is a freemium app, which means that it has a free version and a paid version. And if you find that the free version is not good enough for you for what you need to do and you want to get the paid one, you'll be happy to know that viewers of this channel get 25% discount for the first billing with REPPER. That means for all of our community members, with the link and the coupon code down below in the description, you will get 25% off your first billing, whether it's your first month or your first year with REPPER, depends which plan you decide to take. And speaking of the description down below and links that you can find there, you will also find a link to matetribe.com where you can find all of these source images that I was using for free. There is a very extensive freebies area. I recommend exploring it. I'm going to leave you with two links on the screen right now. The first one is a little bit more of a deep dive into REPPER if you want to use REPPER to create seamless patterns, and paper packs if you want to actually sell them as digital files. And the second link is to the full Spoonflower series, where you'll find how to start a shop with Spoonflower, how to upload designs, the quality of different fabrics, and even the wall hanging because I ordered them and reviewed them in a video, and of course a video with tips and tricks like the colorway option or the different sizes. But with that being said, that was it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something new or were at least entertained. And as usual, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!